Life, 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 life. New way of life. TV and talk radio is where the go. Best thing going is our TV show. Big Rich, Crystal Love, Yara and Dr. Renee. We had the information, we give it away. Every week we bring the truth in the TV and radio booth. New way of life. TV, new way of life. TV, feel powered by the lip. TV network.
I'm the best dude.
Are you?
Oh my God. Oh, be careful.
That good?
Yeah.
And then bring this in?
How we want? Cause you loud.
Okay.
I mean, you.
No, I ain't.
Try to bring it in just a little bit.
Just a little bit?
Yeah.
If you're too far, it'll start getting faint.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I got it.
They come through with Clayton Tucker.
She came through.
He,
Oh, he came through.
yeah, he's coming. Just waiting on them. I don't want to share until they confirm.
That's going. That should spread. That should spread some people up.
Whole lot. He's the one that's running for state ag commission.
She's trying to test your mics real fast.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing, testing, testing.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. Nick Dangerfield.
Nick the quick.
Are we ready?
We're ready.
Ready.
Okay, I'll put your intro is about 20 seconds and then I'll give you. Here we go, going live.
Level up with the Dangerfields, Nick and TONYA. Husband and wife, team who make dreams come true.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Level Up with the Dangerfields. I'm TONYA Dangerfield.
And I'm Nick Dangerfield.
We are here today with our special guest.
I'm Dr. Andrew RUBELL.
All right. I have Nick and Dr. RUBELL back on the show. You guys might remember they were on a few weeks ago talking about positions that they're running for here in the state of Texas. And they're back because there's a lot of stuff going on in the state of Texas and across the entire nation, to be honest with you. And they would like to talk with you about how those positions will affect some of the things that are going on right now. So let's start with just going over again, just a quick overview of what the position is that you guys are running for, and let's discuss how you're going to use that position to save our democracy.
I'll let you take it away, Dr.
Sure. Nick and I are running for the State Democratic Executive Committee representative committeemen. And basically, the SDEC is the governing body of the Democratic Party, where we decide, we develop policies and procedures and process that we implement for the betterment of our constituents. The committee position basically is someone who attends the committees and report back to the district. We want to carry the message of the local elected officials, business owners, grassroots organizers, their message back to the state ruling body, and make sure that those voices are heard at the state level.
Yeah, so the SDEC stands for State Democratic Executive Committee. Once again, I'm running for CD3. Dr. RUBELL is running in CD4.
What's CD, for those who might not know?
Okay, yeah. CD stands for Congressional District. If you have been watching the news lately, you've been hearing this word. It comes up. It's called gerrymandering, right? What is gerrymandering? Gerrymandering is when the courts go in, and is it the courts that actually does the gerrymandering, or is it who does it actually does it?
The legislators will write the map, and then the court will codify the map.
Okay, so what that means is they'll go into areas and they will draw maps that will basically, they're trying to give the Republicans the majority, make those congressional districts strong in favor of red districts, right? And so if you've been following the news, and I hope you have, to give you perspective, in Louisiana, in the Baton Rouge area, that is a predominantly large Black area with over 4 million people in that region, right? And it's just not Baton Rouge, but I'm giving you Baton Rouge as
The
a
southeastern region.
but a point of reference, right? And it spreads out. How far it goes, I'm not 100% sure how far it goes, but in that region, there's 4 million Black people. What is going to happen is the courts, the legislators are going to go in there, and they're going to make almost go in the center of where Black people live and almost cut it like a pizza, if you will. They will go into those areas, and it'll become really, really thin where the large population of Black people are. Then it goes out almost like a slice of pizza where the red people are, and it gives them more majority because it spreads out. Is that a great example?
It is.
That
What they're doing actually is diluting the power of the vote. One of the things that what you're describing actually is what they call cracking. So they go in and they take the maps and they crack it in those districts into other districts. So you might have a very reliably safe red district. And what they do, and you have a very large, reliably safe blue district. The intent of what they're doing is to eliminate that blue district by taking constituents out of the blue districts and putting them in several different red districts.
Okay.
So now the blue district isn't so blue anymore.
Right.
It's not reliable, but also the redder districts aren't reliable either. So, you know, it's a chance that they're taking, because what you're doing is you're diluting the blue vote, but you're diluting the red also, because you're putting those blue voters into those once solidly red districts. And, you know, it's all in order to be able to stay in control, to get in control. And it is basically to keep us from winning the House. We were definitely slated to win the House and probably have a really good chance of winning the Senate. But with these tactics across the entire South, what it's doing is it's taking away our ability to safely win the House. They're diluting the power of the vote. They went in Tennessee, they went into Memphis. And if you've been to Memphis, you know, they went into Memphis and they split Memphis into 3 different districts. And they took part of Memphis and they put it here, and they took another part and put it here, and they took another part and put it over here on the other side. And so what happens is now you don't have a solidly blue district in Memphis anymore. Memphis was the one and only blue district in the whole state of Tennessee. Think about that.
Right.
Out of Nashville, Knoxville, all of the other places, Memphis was the one and only blue district, and that's what they did to take it away. And similarly, they're trying that in Mississippi. They have one solid district with Congressman Benny Thompson.
So let me reel it back in because you kind of went farther in there. I want to explain the congressional district that we are in and what we're doing. So the congressional district that we are in, 3 and 4, has been gerrymandered. So last year, before it was gerrymandered, it was only Collin County and Hunt County for the majority of it. Now for three.
Right.
Now CD3 stretches across 7 counties. It is part of Collin County, Hunt County, Delta County, Hopkins County, Franklin County, Titus County, and Morris County. Now it has become 7 counties. So if you know, have been paying attention, or just FYI, Collin County had become purple.
Very purple.
Once a very red county had turned into a purple county. Why? If you know, Collin County has experienced a lot of growth over the years.
Right.
A lot of jobs have moved there, great economic opportunities, school districts,
Diverse people moving into the
area.
Mhm.
Yes, has made it a purple area. Now they did the pizza example. It's slated to be blue. Now they did the example I used. Pizza went into Collin County, and in the middle of Collin County have broken it up into, I think Collin County now has 3 congressional areas that touch Collin County, 3, 4, and a little bit of 32.
Correct.
Yes. And so, Dr. Rubell, please tell them about your congressional district.
I'm in Congressional District 4, which, as Nick has described, has been sliced and diced. I have a little bit of Denton County. I have a portion of Collin County, basically Collin County East. I have all the way up to Grayson County, Fannin County, Lamar, all the way out to Red River. And to touch on your point that you made, Tonya, in an attempt to rob us of our votes, the Republicans has diluted the vote of the rural communities as well. That was solid red. And so in actuality, what they've done, they've created a swing county, a swing district.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
That's important to note. Again, because think about it, the issues and the issues that the people have in Collin County are not the issues that the people have in Titus County or in Red River County. And so what they actually have done is they've taken away their voice, because when you throw Collin County into the mix, you know what I mean? We plan to go over there and get those votes, right?
Right.
We plan to turn those counties blue. So
Yes.
it's the thing is, it's all in an attempt to remain in power. And that's what it is. It doesn't have anything to do with helping the constituents. It's all an attempt to remain in power.
And I will say this real quick also. At this moment, this is where we need serious people
Absolutely.
at the executive committee level.
Yes.
We need serious people. I think it's important that they have experienced leadership. They have the capacity to reach across the aisle, to develop a coalition across counties, not just in the suburban area, which some candidates tend to focus on. Like you just said, Tonya, the rural counties have a whole host of issues that are completely different than what the voters and our neighbors are facing in the suburban area. And so we need someone that has the capacity, the ability, the skill set to go into different rooms, different caucuses, and develop and build a relationship with people from various communities. That's the key. That's what I do.
Right.
Yeah, my number one goal, and I don't want to speak for Dr. Rubell, but I'm pretty sure we became friends and we talk and we're on the same page. But our number one goal going to the executive committee is two things. Number one is to find the right candidates to fill these seats. That's number one. And then number two is to support them. All right. And then there's a couple of other goals I could mention, but a couple of other goals is to build infrastructure, right? that is our main goal for going to the executive committee, making sure that our congressional district has finding the right people, training the right people,
And we're talking about candidates.
That will be my job
Mhm.
as CD3 SDEC councilman or committee man. And just to let people know, there is a committee man and a committee woman that are elected out of these congressional districts by delegates who go to the county convention, and then they will advance to the state convention. But once we get there, yes, our goal is to making sure that the county seats, the county across those congressional districts, those chairs, the chairs of those parties, making sure that they have everything they need to keep the Democratic Party strong. And what does that take normally? That takes money.
Right. And it takes money and it takes organizing, because I think Nick and I both have traveled our district and had an opportunity to engage the voters. And one of the things that the county presidents have shared with us, each one over and over again, is the lack of precinct chairs. They have, for example, there's one county that has 132 precinct chairs and only 35 have actually filled. And so that's our job, is to go out and recruit precinct chairs. Because when we talk about infrastructure, we have to ask ourselves, what does infrastructure look like? And that's building a party that has the capacity to support our candidates, train and support and develop our candidates. That's our goal, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a more active role in this position. Normally, if you talk to the people in our counties and in the districts, they'll tell you they never heard of the SDEC. They have no idea what the male or the female representative does. And so Nick and I are going to change that. We're going to make that position more visible, more accountable to the people, more accessible to the people. That's our goal. And build a party infrastructure that goes beyond just this election, right? We want to make sure that we build a party infrastructure that's sustainable, that can take us from election. I like what you said one time, Tony. You said, we get all excited about a candidate, we build up, only to see it go away. And then the next election cycle come along, we got to start all over again. Nick and I are committed to changing that.
Changing it, yes. And so that's at the SDEC once we are elected. Right now, we're not waiting till we are elected. We're out here right now doing the work as we speak. And so right now, our number one focus, because we have these midterms coming up, and people, we cannot
sit down.
Yeah, we cannot tell you, communicate to you, cannot push this information strong enough to let you know that how important it is for you to be ready to vote in November. It is going to be very crucial for everyone, especially Black people, to get to the polls in November. And I think it's probably time for a break. Once we come back, we're going to explain why it is so important. What's going on with this gerrymandering? Why do they want Republicans? Why do they want control? And I would love for you to talk about over the years, the progress Black people have made, but not only when the progress has been made, what has been done to push us back. And this gerrymandering right now is one of the actions that the Republican Party is taking to push us back.
It's a tool.
It's going to be push us back for 60,
for
70, 80 years.
Or more.
So, yeah.
So we will go ahead and take a break, and we'll come back. And another thing I want to talk about is what a precinct chair is, because maybe we'll be able to recruit some precinct chairs after they learn what the duties are. So we'll go ahead and take a break, and that's what we'll come back with, talking about the precinct chairs and then the history of the party and how we got here. All right. So we'll see you in just a moment. Take a break.
Hello, I'm Shonda Amy. the CEO founder of Restorative Fitness, a certified personal trainer, certified life coach, transformational speaker, author times 2, and R2L Fitness active
That's
wear.
the break cream? Break cream?
Right now, I'm doing the fitness.
For all your
You found one of those
fitness
new break screens?
lack motivation.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm saying, it's not showing on the line.
Well, yeah, I've seen the video, so I can't show that image in this video.
Okay, okay, I
Yeah,
see
this
what
one
you're
was
saying.
asking what audio you wanted to play behind the
Yes.
picture.
we got
Yeah, the picture just indicates,
He's trying to
Yeah.
base
Oh.
it to the streets.
Oh, yeah.
You label these
like the
people,
flyer pictures.
and you
Yeah.
call them
Yeah,
and
just
ask
whatever.
them.
Right, the only thing is like while.
Yeah, we don't have to do none of that. All we have to do is go get vegetables.
Right, so-
Once these videos are done, I'm just gonna play a song from here and I'm gonna play those pictures.
Right, yeah, right, okay, yeah.
Black on,
Independent. Oh, that was good. I was just concentrating on that. Phone.
at this.
TikTok, that looked good. But yeah.
I thought you had something for. Think your legs too long.
I was ready for this particular.
Right.
Y'all heard that old saying, if you keep doing what you always done, you're gonna keep getting what you always get. Well, keep listening to that old stuff. We have a very informative show.
I think that's something to read up.
Oh.
And not keep doing what we've always done.
Oh, well, only other thing I thought about was when y'all was talking about the counties in relation to Dallas Fort Worth. So people are kind of, know where it is, you know.
Keep mentioning that.
Yeah, well, no, I'm saying in relation, like when you say Grayson County,
What is that, Greenville? You just
like
say
an hour from Dallas.
Oh,
You
okay.
want something like that, or whatever county, 45 minutes from Dallas.
and your districts are, in some cases 2.5, maybe almost 3 hours away from.
Extraordinary.
And at OMG Great Club, we carry items as such, furniture, lighting.
All right, I got all those images up. Do you want to come back after this one? Or do you want me
Yeah.
to play the music?
Yeah, they can come on back, then the next one, just the images and the music. Yeah.
We got about 10 seconds.
Or my phone at 214-908-2752.
See you soon.
Here we go.
All right, welcome back to Level Up with the Dangerfields. What we were talking about when we left off, Dr. RUBELL, you touched on the precinct chairs and how we want to make sure that we're supporting the candidates with having those precinct chair positions filled. And I just wanted to make sure everybody understood what a precinct chair is and what their duty is. So I happen to be a precinct chair. I've been a precinct chair for several years in Collin County. So I'm in Collin County, which is north of Dallas. We're the Dallas-Fort Worth. We're called North Dallas right now. Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Well, we're North Dallas. So I've been a precinct chair for a few years. My job is and I have boundaries. I know where my boundaries start, east, west, north, and south. And my responsibility is to go into that precinct and make sure all of the voters in that precinct of my party, in this case, Democratic Party, because there are Republican precinct chairs and there are Democratic precinct chairs in every precinct, or there is availability. My job is to make sure that they are voting, that they know where to vote, that they know how to vote, and that they know who's on the ballot.
Correct.
And then I'm also giving them suggestions about, different people, even during, times when they might not know. I don't know what this position is. What is this position? Well, let me explain what this position does. So they don't see the positions that the two of you are running for, the SDC positions. Those are positions that are voted on by delegates, of which many precinct chairs are. And those are people that actually go to the conventions. But the precinct chair is the heart of the party because they are actually getting the information out to the people. What we see a lot of times is people don't know where to vote. They don't know. In Texas, you have to be registered for 30 days prior to an election for you to be able to vote. They don't know this oftentimes. What I saw when I served as an election judge during the primaries were people that had just recently registered to vote, maybe within the last 2 weeks, some 3. There were some that were 2 or 3 days off from being 30 days, but you have to be registered for 30 days prior to the election. And so that's the job of the precinct chair, to give them that information. We're not waiting until an election to go out and make sure those people are, everybody in the house is registered. We're making sure they know beforehand. And especially in this time, what we're seeing now, we don't have room for mistakes. We don't have room for any type of, errors or anything like what we've seen before. We have to make sure everybody has this information. So we need precinct chairs across the entire state. But what you all are going to be doing is making sure that you're trying to get precinct chairs in those positions in the counties that are in your congressional districts.
That is correct. And not only making sure that you have precinct chairs in those areas, but also then support them, because I should have a relationship with you and say, Tonya, you're precinct chair of 169 Collin County.
Mm-hmm.
What do you need to activate your constituents in 169?
Perhaps I need block walkers. I need some people to help me block walk and go to those doors, or they call it dropping literature.
Right.
That's when I come back to you. Do you have some volunteers that I can pull from to get
Right.
those?
Maybe you want to do telephone calls.
Maybe
I need to set up a center and get telephones and set up and
Phone
get
banking.
volunteers over there to help do telephone banking, right?
Mhm.
What are other ways that we reach out to our constituents
Well,
in those times?
I think the precinct chair specifically, they are more in touch with their neighbors, right? They live in that neighborhood. They know their neighbors. They're familiar with the people in their neighborhood. They have more influence than some candidate walking in,
Right.
from the state level or whatever, coming in trying to talk to the voters. So the most influential person in that neighborhood is the precinct chair.
Is the precinct?
It's absolutely
Right,
precinct chair.
right.
And so that's why they are such a crucial, a critical, and important component in this process. We can't do without them. And we're looking around in our counties, looking in our district, and the positions are going unfilled. I had a conversation with a county president, and I was talking to her, and I said, how can I help you? How can I help the local candidates? How can set up fundraisers, do block walkers, all the things that we described. And the sad truth was, she told me, we don't have any candidates running. The Republicans are running unopposed. We cannot allow that to happen anymore going forward. Nick and I are going to change that.
So explain that. So you hit a very important point that we left out when we were talking about gerrymandering. You just said we don't have Democrats in our district who is running for these positions. What happens when you don't have Democrats running in those positions?
You have taxation without representation.
What does that mean?
Right. You're paying for the people. Other people are making decisions on your life every day. So most people, when they think of elections, they focus on the presidential election.
Right.
That's right. But they forget about the justice of the peace, right? The county clerk, the county commissioners.
All the people that you will probably
all the
come
people
into.
that have
Yeah.
they'll intersect with you, intersect with your life every day.
Right.
Those people. And so we lose focus on those. That's where the precinct chairs come into play, where they help us to focus on the local candidates on down ballot issues as well.
Right. So does this Republicans who's in charge today, do they care about housing in these areas that we?
Absolutely not.
Do they care about healthcare?
They don't. And Tony, you touched on something I want you to share with people when it comes to the rural community and the damage that the data centers are doing to the rural communities and the resources they're draining from. Most people in the suburban and in the city have no idea the issues that are facing the rural communities and the data center and the power that they're willing over the local leadership there. If you can go into that, I would appreciate it. I think the audience would love to hear that.
So the AI data centers are basically big centers that use a lot of energy to produce all of our internet energy is what I'm going to call it, right? The things we do on the internet, it supports all of that. And so you have these companies that are coming in, they're looking at every rural area across the nation, but specifically when we talk about rural Texas, a lot of them are looking at rural East Texas because of the vast amounts of land. And so they come in, they go to the city council and they say, hey, we can bring all this money in because we're going to hire these people. And so now you're going to grow your tax base and we're going to help this city, to actually make money. But what really happens, the part that they don't tell you about, is that they're going to use millions of gallons of water per day.
Exactly.
Per day. Millions of gallons of water per day to produce this energy. They're going to use a lot of electricity. And a lot of them will say, well, we have the capacity to create our own energy. We have, if you come in and you let us have, 1,000 acres of land, we'll use 100 acres of land and we'll just put solar panels there and we'll use that energy. But guess what? They don't tell you the whole thing. They still cannot generate enough energy to run these centers that are running 24 hours a day. So the people in the town, they pay for that. Their electricity bill goes up. And so not only are the people in the town going to pay more for their electricity, now they're going to have water depletion. How long can that last? Do you know what I mean? How long can that last? And so what we're seeing in East Texas is they have a water crisis right now. So now they need to build, or they want to build a reservoir to be able to, have this water available because they've lost so much water. Well, what that does now is now they're going to take land from landowners. They're going to take farmland and they're going to flood it to put this reservoir in. Marvin Nichols is the one that I'm specifically talking about in Northeast Texas. And so not only do you have people that are going to lose their land to this reservoir, but you also have the reservoir that's going to run through people's property. It's going to make it less valuable, or it's going to be too close to the water. It's going to cut off access to it. Do you know what I mean? And so what it's doing is the fact that that they put these data centers out there cause a domino effect.
Yeah, they call that a negative, in economics called a negative externality, where the company comes in and people initially think there's a benefit, right? But it creates these negative spillover effects, these negative externalities that people don't often think about. And now, once the project is completed, then they're feeling all these things.
Right.
Let me give you an example. Let me keep it 100 for you. You say, what is these data centers going to do? Some people might say, well, these data centers are going to make me have better internet connection. It's going to be faster. I don't know, but here's what it does do. Back in home, what I hear from people
Where is home?
Paris, Texas. What I hear from people is when it rains, my lights go out. Wow. My water bill is sky high right now. Mm-hmm. What I hear right now is that the roads are bad. Mm-hmm. There are the infrastructure, the water system, the lights. It's all crazy.
So what are they doing with the money?
So they're going to put the money into these data centers, mm-hmm. into these areas to develop these data centers. And what's going to happen is your electric lines are not going to get fixed. The water that you use now, the utility services, they're just going to get more and more expensive.
Hey, you're going to lose. I was going to say this real quick. My friends, if you keep voting the same way, mm-hmm. and expecting a different result, mm-hmm. it's not happening. How many times do you have to be sold down the river before you change and realize these Republicans are not for you? How many times do they have to betray you, lie to your face, play in your face, and tell you there's a guy over CD4 right now, U.S. House Representative by the name of Pat Fallon. This Coca-Cola cosplaying cowboy from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, talking about how much he preaches about Texas values. He has no idea. He's busy selling you down the road. If we continue to go down this road, guys, continue to vote for these people time after time after time. Never forget, The Republicans has been in charge of Texas for 30 years now. 30 years, and they're running and talking about fixing the economy. Guys, they've been in charge all this time. My people, my friends, it's time for us to wake up. We got to change this. We have to have a sense of urgency to come in and change this. We can't do it by ourselves. We're going to need you guys.
I just want to add something to that point. They've been in charge for over 30 years. When Ann Richards was governor, we were like number 9, I think, in education. We're 40-something, number 40-something now. Healthcare is worse. Education is worse. Everything is worse and more expensive over the last 30 years. And now we're actually losing rights. And when I say rights, I'm talking about land rights with these data centers and with this reservoir. I do want to say this. We know that we can't stop progress. So we do know that there are going to be cases where these data centers are going to go in and they have to go in. But what we want is regulation. We want to make sure that we can regulate them. We want to make sure that there are things that are put in place that say that the town people won't have to pay higher prices for the energy. You know, we can't just let them come in and steamroll the people in these areas and get everything they want and take and cost the people here more money.
You know, excellent point. And I always say this, I am an entrepreneur. I'm a business owner. I believe in growth.
Mm-hmm.
The growth should not only benefit the developer.
Right.
Everybody should grow.
Exactly. It should benefit everyone. It should have the community in mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, absolutely. And so I don't want to come across like I'm anti-capitalism because I'm a capitalist.
We're all capitalists.
We are, right? But there's a right way of doing things.
Right. We're not going to here's the bottom line is we are not going to allow the other side to grow and we don't grow. Right. We're not here to say we're going to change this. You're going to see this happen. We're going to be out here, yes, change makers, but we have to get your vote. We have to get you involved, and so change can start to happen. And we put the right people in place to make those things happen. We have to get non-voters engaged. We have to get them involved. We have to educate them so they can show up, so they can make an informed decisions about your data centers, but more importantly, things that's going to affect you every day. And right now, our livelihood is on the line because once again, civil rights our civil rights are under attack.
Yeah.
Our voting rights are under attack. And if we don't get you and your family and your neighbors to the polls to make that vote and stop that, where's it headed?
Well, I can tell you where it's headed. You know, if we
I'm not picking no cotton.
yeah, bump that. I'll tell you this: if we look at what the Trump administration has done, it's pretty clear, right? It's open warfare on the Black community,
Mm-hmm.
point blank. And what I see, and he's pretty obvious what he's doing. He is trying to bait Black people into the streets.
Yep.
So he can exactly. Mm-hmm. So he can label peaceful protest a riot. Mm-hmm. He'll call in the National Guard, and then he will declare martial law. Absolutely. That's what he wants, you know. And he's been trying to bait us ever since. Don't fall for it.
Don't fall for it.
What can you do? The best thing you can do is get registered to vote.
Organize.
Know where you got to go to vote, and go vote every election.
Until everybody you know.
Exactly.
This is what Dr. RUBELL and I are doing. We're going into the communities, not just in rural county, in where we live too, but also in those rural areas, engaging people that look like us and everyone that you got to get to the voting polls. And here's the day you got to go, and here's what we think would be best for us, who to elect to put in these positions. And not only we're going to tell you who to or give you those choices, who to vote for, but we're trying to bring those people to you so they can shake your hand and you can see them and meet them to know that they are real people. Right?
Speaking on that, we have a fundraiser that we organized, and Nick and I organized in Paris, Texas this Saturday. It's for the U.S. House Representative Jason Pierce and the State House Representative Sean Huffman. You guys, will make a link available to you guys. We want you out there. Come and see us. Come and talk to these candidates and hold them accountable for your issues. Ask them the tough questions and let them answer the questions for you. These are two good candidates. We're bringing them to you so that you can hold them accountable and they can answer your questions.
Yeah. So what if you don't know Dr. Rubell and you want to say, hey, I need to get informed. I need to get engaged. What is something that you think the people can do? What would be the first thing that someone who's want to be informed and don't know what to do, don't know how to go get engaged and get informed?
Right now, if you're looking at this on any of the platforms, you can drop a comment and we'll make sure that we respond to those. And you can actually just go and send us an email. I'll give you an opportunity to share your email, and you can get in touch with us and we'll make sure that you get the information. You don't have to be in our area. You don't have to be in our congressional district. If you are anywhere in Texas, we have tentacles that go all the way out through the entire state. So we will make sure that you get the information. You will get connected to the people in your congressional district. We don't want you to think that you cannot call us for any question. If we don't have the answer, we know where to go and find it.
Absolutely.
So we'll have an opportunity to share contact information for sure so that everybody can stay connected with us. But feel free to, like I said, if you're on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you are, just drop a comment. We'll make sure that we get back with you and get you plugged in.
And if you don't choose to get in contact with us, simple thing you can do, whatever county you're in. I'm going to say if you're in Bowie County, just Google Bowie County Democrats, and I guarantee you that county will come up with a page and it will have their county chair for the Democratic Party, which is Sabrina. That's just, one of the counties just off the top of my head. And on those county pages, they will give you a lot of information on how to register to vote. Some of the events going on in your area, when is the next voting is going to be taking place. So I know that's a lot maybe to look at those pages once again, but if you're that type of person who takes control, take active, store it right there and just Googling whatever county you're in and your party and get that information, right? And just look out for different events that's going on in your neighborhood, in your county, in your precinct, and get involved and take charge and know what's going on. Once again, I cannot stress enough that we are under attack. We need to get to the voting booth, and we need to vote blue to save our civil rights, our voting rights, because our voting rights is our voice.
We're going to take another quick break and we'll come back. I want to talk about some more things, and I think you had something to add as well, but we'll go back. I don't want us to go too fast over the event that's coming up this Saturday, but there are a couple of things I want to point out. So let's take that break and we will be right back. And Dr. Rubell, you'll have the first word when we come back.
Thank you.
But I guess that's normal. Half or seven, that's normal. YouTube is not bad. I know that sometimes, but this is not seven, about seven, but
Facebook is usually like a good 10 seconds.
yeah. So, but YouTube is right. It's not.
Good information.
Yeah.
You want to come back?
Okay.
Y'all come back to my show.
Okay.
I got some questions I want to ask. When I was talking, I was looking up stuff. Well, it's just nothing on the spot. And one of the questions is right on top of my head. Keep talking about what have you been told?
That's
What have we been told? I wouldn't, I'm just talking to me.
No,
I was
that's
not
one of the
sure.
things I want to
It
talk
was
about.
just vote for the Democrats. That's what so I was wondering the question.
Yeah.
And I looked up Dallas County. Then I'm like,
You don't know.
I never heard y'all bro. You know, 56 years old.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I've been voting since I was 18. You know, so
Isn't that the point though?
Yeah.
To keep you ignorant so you don't
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
That's how they keep the power. You know?
So something about that. Everybody knows y'all come back.
I'm not gonna be able to come back. I gotta get on the phone call
Oh,
at 7:30.
Okay.
We should be a car.
Okay. So that is just going.
Okay.
To what y'all talking.
Okay.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Big Rich, New Well Life Talk Radio, hosted by me, yours truly, Big Rich, Say, on Fishbowl Radio Network. We're coming to you every Monday from 7 to 8 p.m. Say, y'all heard that old saying, if you keep doing what you always done, you're going to keep getting what you always get. Well, keep listening to that old stuff. We have a very informative show. We're bringing on very challenging subjects that are dear to myself and guests on the show. The New Well Life is here to inspire, uplift, and empower. We want to cause a change in your thinking, your attitudes, your beliefs, and your values. That's what we're doing here on Fishbowl Radio Network every Monday, 7 to 8 p.m. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. New Well Life Talk Radio, powered by Fishbowl Radio Network every Monday, 7 to 8
That's
p.m.
David Brown. He
Jump
said
in.
he said the same thing. He said, man, I'm out of touch. What is?
What they talking about?
So what is? Yeah.
And at OMG Great Decor, we present a carefully curated selection of distinctive and stylish home decor items, crafted to transform your living space into something extraordinary.
Extraordinary.
And at OMG Great Decor, we carry items as such: furniture, lighting, decor accents, kitchen essentials, and more.
Much, much more.
And you can reach us at omggreatdecor.com. That's omggreatdecor.com or by phone at 214-908-2752.
See you soon.
All right, welcome back to Level Up with the Dangerfields. We have talked about a lot. One of the things that we were just talking about is just stressing the importance of voting in every election. And to be able to do that, you have to have the information on what you're voting for and who you should be voting for. And Dr. Rubell, I said you would have the first one when we come back.
Yeah, I think we said something very key here. We said, what are we voting for? And how do we vote? Why is it important? What we've seen, and I've said it already, this attack by the Trump administration on Black voters, on the Black community. Guys, this should be the largest voter registration in the history of the Black community since the Civil Rights Movement in the 1960s.
Absolutely.
That's where we're headed. That's where we need to be. That's the sense of urgency we need to have and the passion we need to have. We need leaders that understand that passion, that understand what we're going through. We can't have any more mamby-pamby, kumbaya Democrats representing us. It is time for fighters.
We're not going low.
It's time. We don't have time for any more show ponies or political fanboys. We need grinders. We need somebody who's ready to come out and fight. Guys, I'm a fighter. I'm ready to fight for you. I want to come out there and fight. Nick is a fighter. He's ready to fight for you. No more show ponies. No more glee club mentalities. We need fighters. We need leaders in these positions right now. In the time that we are right now, such is the time that we're meant to be here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what do you need from me? What I need from you is when you see me or Dr. Rubell, I need you guys to just come to us and say, hey, I don't know, to help me out. What should I be doing? We got you. And if it's not us, find somebody in the community that knows what's going on. Connect. It is important that you get engaged. This is your legacy that is on the line. Your legacy. If you want to, your grandkids, let's just take it back. If you want your kids to succeed, you want your grandkids and their kids to be able to succeed, you want to leave that legacy, right now you can do a simple thing, and that's just register to vote and go vote. Not just this time, but all times. We have to be connected. We have to know what's going on in our communities. We have to take charge.
One of the things I really want to point out is that I know a lot of people are hearing a lot about what's going on in the news with the Callis case in Louisiana and the redistricting, as we touched on. But I don't think that a lot of people understand what that means and how imperative that is. You hear it, and you know that people are in an uproar about it, but you don't understand it. Basically, we've talked about how they dilute the vote. So you hear that, okay, they dilute the vote. Well, what does that mean? That means that if you're going to vote, your vote is not as powerful as it was in the last cycle. So we got to make sure that we're pulling in 3-4 other people, because we got to run the numbers way up. We got to make this too big to rig. So that's why we need as many people voting as possible. And, you know, I saw it a couple of days ago. There was a guy talking, and he was very matter of fact, standing there, and he's holding a press conference, and he said, it's so funny the way he said it, we're going to look into going after Amendment 14, is what he said. That is the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, for those of us that know these amendments. And we just went through it because our daughter, she wants to be an attorney, so she's taking a law class this year, so we learned it again with her. Watch how sleek they are. Amendment 14. Well, that doesn't automatically trigger to a lot of people. Talking about the 14th Amendment, which gave the slaves citizenship, which gave the Native Americans, the indigenous people, citizenship. That's what the 14th Amendment is. Why are you going after that amendment?
So let's slow down one time, just to make sure people understand. So if they don't go vote in November, and the current administration stays in charge, and that means President Trump will keep his in November. He will keep his seat. But what does that mean? His administration, or that means that the Congress will stay red and the Senate will stay red. That means he has power, right? And he's going to go after those amendments like the 14th Amendment. That's what's been said. And that 14th Amendment, once again, you can't say it any louder.
14th Amendment gave the slaves citizenship. They became citizens of the United States. They were not considered citizens. They were considered property prior to the 14th Amendment. That amendment gave them citizenship. It also gave Native Americans citizenship. Okay, again, I don't want to go over this too fast. Why would they want to touch that amendment? There is a reason, okay? Everything they're doing is methodical. Okay, so that's the 14th Amendment. Who knows what the 13th Amendment was?
The 13th Amendment is?
I don't remember.
The 13th
Freed the
Amendment
slaves.
Oh, wow.
The 13th Amendment freed the slaves. So what's going to happen is they're going to go back through and they're going to start looking at where they can do things. Now, do I think that they're going to, pass this amendment, or I shouldn't say pass it, that they're going to repeal this amendment and automatically you're back out in the fields? No, but what they're going to do is they're going to start repealing amendments, and then they're going to start putting things in place that make life hard for us. And that's all you need to know. You don't need to know what exactly they're going to do. They're trying to make life harder for us. And so
they're trying to codify a caste system.
Absolutely. They're creating a caste system.
Yes.
They can't actually recreate slavery, but they are going to create a caste system.
How would that look in today's time in 2026, 27 and forward? A caste system today, you think?
Well, you know what? We kind of have it now. The sad thing about it is we have first generational immigrants that come to this country, and they have this idea of the American dream, and they think that racism is patriotism, right? So they come in with this idea of a caste system already. At the bottom is African American, foundational Black people, and so on and so on and so on, and this idea in their head is, I may be poor, I may sleep on a dirt floor,
but I ain't black.
But I ain't black. At least I'm not black, right? So that's the caste system that they're trying to reinforce, and codify into law. The sad thing that they don't realize, they think this proximity to whiteness somehow protects it. It does not. And that's a lesson that they're slowly waking up
last
to.
year and a half.
Some are.
It's been coming pretty fast in the last year and a half. They've been actually attacking immigrants pretty hard, and I don't know if everybody is getting it, but yeah, they have a target as well. So we need you to vote with us. We need you to understand that your rights are at stake. The 14th Amendment, we talk about, again, giving citizenship. Well, what does that mean for a naturalized immigrant, right? That gives them the ability to take away a naturalized immigrant's naturalization status.
Exactly.
So maybe I don't like you anymore. Maybe I don't want you in this country. 14th Amendment isn't there.
It's a direct response to, in their eyes, the white population shrinking.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and no longer being America, no longer being a white majority. You
That's
know,
what the abortion rules are about.
country.
It's all of that.
It's
Yeah.
exactly.
So I mean, we could go on, and we will extend this. Dr. Rubell and I, we're going to extend this into the next hour on the next show, on Big Rich's show. My man, which is my husband, Nick Dangerfield, he's going to have to hop off because he actually is going to be doing some political work.
I'm already on the job. I
Yeah.
haven't been elected, but I'm already on it. I'm already trying to find non-voters and get them engaged. Just kind of dive a little bit further in what you're talking about. I've already received a phone call this morning and asked if I will be on a call and how to get some officials elected right now because they're running against MAGA in some municipal areas. So I'm already engaging with activists that are out there and trying to get the right people elected. And so I'm getting it done. Thank you.
I appreciate both of you. Again, Dr. Rubell has an event in Paris this weekend. It's, again, already at work, right? You guys are already doing the work, already pulling the clubs together, pulling the candidates together, doing fundraisers for the candidates. You know, we're not out here chilling.
Yeah,
You know,
and
we're
these
not
are
out here hanging out.
non-paid
Non-paid,
positions.
let's stress that.
This is
Spending money,
Out of our own pocket.
right?
Yeah,
Spending
yeah.
money.
I
not
love
giving
my
any
people
money.
that
Just
much.
that much.
I love my
Just that
people
much.
that much.
I
That
appreciate y'all.
I'm out here pounding these pavements and helping and trying to get the right people, the right representation, so we can be protected, so we can live quality lives.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line, quality of life.
I want to ask you guys to follow us on social. And by us, I mean, I'm the president of the coalition, of the Collin and Denton Coalition of Black Democrats. And I want you to follow us on social. Go to Facebook and Instagram and look for Collin Denton chapter of the Coalition of Black Democrats and follow us. We'll have information there on what we're doing and where we're going. And because these two are working so hard, and I don't want to leave out, they're again, as you said, there's a committee woman position. Miss Monty Peters,
Oh, yes.
who is running for CD3 committee woman, couldn't be here today.
Which is my congressional
Which is,
district,
yes,
is
you will be
who
serving
I
with him.
am endorsing, who
Yes.
I am running with.
Yes,
Yes,
she couldn't
yes.
be here tonight. She is phenomenal. I can't wait for you guys to meet her. We'll have her on soon. But remember those names: Nick Dangerfield for Congressional District 3 SDC, Dr. Anthony Rubell, Andrew. What did I say?
And
Why did I say Anthony? Where did that come from? Andrew. That was crazy. Andrew Rubell for Congressional District 4 SDC Committee Man, and then Miss Monty Peters for SDC Congressional District 3.
Yeah. So one reason why I'm just, Miss Monty Peters is a fighter. She's a warrior. She's been doing this for years and years. She's been an activist out in Dangerfield, Texas. Her congressional district was gerrymandered, and so now she has to leave her congressional district, and now she's in my congressional district 3. One thing that I like of what we have done, we've set a plan, is she's on one end of the congressional district and I'm on the other end, and we're going to work hours in between, and we're going to cross each other and be each other's back, eyes, and
Everybody
ears.
is crisscrossing. I love the way, Nick, you're from Lamar County. You're helping Dr. Rubell build those connections in Lamar County. And I'm not seeing that. I haven't seen that before. And I've been around for a minute. I haven't seen other people doing that in this position. They stay in their club, wherever they are, and they only talk to people like them. I love the fact that you guys are going out. You're making the connections across the counties. And again, you are going into those places, those untouched places that people haven't gone into those counties and helping them. And let's give ourselves some props. We actually went over to Hunt County and helped over there, and we got
did.
Yeah, we were able to help a
Byron
candidate get
Smith.
elected, Byron Smith get
Yes.
elected to the city council over there. So
The
already doing the
independent
work.
school district trustee.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, to the ISD. Already doing the work. Again, I know you have this event on Saturday. Thank you in advance for putting that together. It's going to be phenomenal. I know that lots of connections will be made. And when we come back again, we'll probably come back again before the convention. We'll have lots of stuff to be able to report to everybody. But again, Dr. Rubell, you and I'll hang around for a little while longer. We got to go, y'all. I know it's been an engaging conversation, but we will catch you very soon. Stay online. We're going to be on Big Rich's show coming up, okay? All right. Final words. Go ahead and give your email address.
Yes, if you need to reach out to me, ask me any questions, how to be engaged and what to do, reach me, Nick Dangerfield, SDEC, CD3. That's Nick Dangerfield, SDEC, CD3 at gmail.com.
Okay.
All right, you guys can reach me at Dr. Drew at RUBELLCSolutions.com. That's Dr. Dr. Drew, DREW at Rubell, RUBELLCSolutions.com.
Reach me at President Colin Denton at gmail.com. All right, guys, we gotta get out of here and stay online. Don't leave, all right? Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you, guys. We stretched that 2 minutes into about 15. I had hit you. I was like, you were there. Where am I going?
Sit right there.
So I'm gonna sit here.
Yeah, that's right. With those phones. Hey, what about the graduation? Man, put Tonya on.
It ain't me. 717.
Yeah.
It's what?
It's 7:17.
You have to be on at 7 or 7:30.
7:30.
Life, new way of life. TV and talk radio is where the go. Best thing going is our TV show. Big Rich, Crystal Love, Wiyh and Dr. Renee. We had the information, we give it away. Every week we bring the truth in the TV and radio booth. New way of life. TV, new way of life. TV, feel powered by the lip.